From the PEP Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are following at this hour. Walmart, which became the nation's largest retailer by making low prices a priority, has found itself in a place it's rarely been, warning customers that prices will rise for goods ranging from bananas to car seats. Executives at the $750 billion company told industry analysts Thursday that they are doing everything in their power to absorb the higher costs from tariffs ordered by President Donald Trump. Given the magnitude of the duties, however, the highest since the 1930s, higher prices are unavoidable and they will hurt Walmart customers already buffeted by inflation over the past 3 years. Trump's threatened 145% import taxes on Chinese goods were reduced to 30% in a deal announced Monday, with some of the higher tariffs on pause for 90 days. Those higher prices began to appear on Walmart shelves in late April and accelerated this month, Walmart executives said Thursday. However, a larger sting will be felt in June and July when the back-to-school shopping season goes into high gear. We're wired to keep prices low, but there's a limit to what we can bear, or any retailer for that matter, Chief Financial Officer John David Rainey told the Associated Press on Thursday after the company reported strong first-quarter sales. Rainey emphasized that prices are rising not just for discretionary items such as patio furniture and trendy fashions, but for basic necessities as well. The price of bananas imported from Costa Rica rose from 50 cents per pound to 54 cents. He thinks car seats made in China that currently sell for $350 at Walmart will likely cost customers another $100. Baby strollers are also sourced from China, Rainey said. Higher prices arrive as many Americans pull back on spending as they grow increasingly uneasy about the economy. In other news, a Wisconsin judge pleaded not guilty Thursday to charges accusing her of helping a man who is illegally in the country evade U.S. immigration authorities seeking to arrest him in her courthouse. Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan entered the plea during a brief arraignment in federal court. Magistrate Judge Stephen Dries scheduled a trial to begin July 21st. Dugan's lead attorney, Stephen Biskupik, told the judge that he expects the trial to last a week. Dugan, her lawyers, and prosecutors left the hearing without speaking to reporters. She is charged with concealing an individual to prevent arrest and obstruction. Prosecutors say she escorted Eduardo Flores-Ruiz and his lawyer out of her courtroom through a back door on April 18th after learning that U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents were in the courthouse seeking to arrest him for being in the country illegally. She could face up to 6 years in prison if convicted on both counts. Her attorneys say she's innocent. They filed a motion Wednesday to dismiss the case, saying she was acting in her official capacity as a judge and therefore is immune to prosecution. They also maintain that the federal government violated Wisconsin's sovereignty by disrupting a state courtroom and prosecuting a state judge. Dugan's arrest has inflamed tensions between Trump administration and Democrats over the president's sweeping immigration crackdown. Dozens of demonstrators gathered outside the courthouse ahead of Tuesday's hearing, with some holding signs that read, "Only fascists arrest judges, drop the charges. Department of Justice overreach," and "Keep your hands off our judges." The crowd chanted due process rights, hands off our freedom, and "Si se pueda," Spanish for yes we can, which is a rallying cry for immigrant rights advocates. One man stood alone across the street holding a Trump flag. And finally, the Supreme Court on Thursday weighed whether to allow President Donald Trump's restrictions on birthright citizenship to temporarily take effect in most of the country, even if they might ultimately be found to violate the U.S. Constitution. The justices heard arguments in the Trump administration's emergency appeals over lower court orders that have kept the citizenship restrictions on hold across the country. Nationwide or universal injunctions have emerged as an important check on Trump's efforts to remake the government and a mounting frustration to the Republican president and his allies. Judges have issued 40 nationwide injunctions since Trump began his second term in January. Solicitor General D. John Sauer told the court at the start of more than 2 hours of arguments. Birthright citizenship is among several issues, many related to immigration, that the administration has asked the court to address on an emergency basis after lower courts acted to slow the president's agenda. That's the news at this hour. The Pennsylvania Equality Project's 2025 housing survey is available at paequality.com. If you are 18 or older, live in Pennsylvania, and are part of the LGBTQ+ community, you are eligible to participate. Up next is the local weather forecast for Meadville here on PEP Radio.